Welcome to another mini live session. I mean, this one is tricky. I guess we get a break from the whole, Amber and Shayla tit for tat. This one is more about a sibling rivalry. I don't know if you guys have had sibling, rivalry in your lifetime. I don't know if y'all have siblings. I do have a sibling, and so I guess I understand the rivalry, but come on now. Sometimes Shayla takes a little bit too far. Hey, anyway, you know what? Let's get into it.
You didn't tell me, of course, but nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you too. I'm gonna take a shower real fast. You got a scarf?
Yeah, I think I have an extra one. It should be one under the sink, actually.
Okay. All right, babe. I'll see you.
Okay.
All right.
Guess she's staying the night.
Oh yeah, she's just gonna stay over here a little bit while she's in town for work. So just temporary type of thing. No.
What does that mean, temporary?
Good question. What exactly does that mean? Does that mean that she's staying 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? Is she staying a week? Is she staying a month? Is she staying a couple of months? What does that mean? Define that, Miss Shayla.
Like, what, the weekend?
Well, however long she's working. I don't know.
Oh, so you're letting her stay here?
Mm-hmm.
Zashery, yes, just while she's working.
While
That's
she's
it.
working. That doesn't sound like is that temporary. It sounds like it's gonna take her a while.
No, she
right?
still
To,
lives
like-
in Miami.
Oh, well, you're letting her stay here, and you didn't let me stay here.
That's a good point. Remember that Zasha had actually asked Shayla to stay there, but Shayla did not allow her to stay there. So this is exactly why this is tricky and why Zasha is responding this way. So I see exactly what's going on. Charmaine, and put your comment up first. Zasha will be the one who helped Shayla to pick up the pieces when karma hit. I hope so, because at this point in time, this is really, really tricky. To have your to say no to your sister that she can't stay with you, but have a friend stay there is a little bit different. Now the question is this. Maybe if your friend was paying rent or something to that effect, or even tell Zachary to pay some rent, it would have been something different. But none of this is happening at all. I mean, hey, it's a little different. Evening, everyone. Slow in Skitland today. Not much going on. Not much at all going on, except for the fact that Zachary is actually upset. That's what's going on.
Zashery.
But you were able to just let her come and stay with you.
No,
and then with
it's
me, it was
not
a big
no,
problem.
it's not a big deal. It really isn't.
It's
a
not a big deal to you?
No,
I'm
she's
staying
not
with
staying.
Pam.
She's not staying here permanently.
But I didn't want to stay here permanently either. Why didn't you let me stay here then? I'm your sister. And you're letting her stay here?
Zashery, you relax.
That is so
like,
messed up.
There's nothing to relax about. The woman asking a solid question. You never wanted her staying with you. What was the reason you never wanted her staying with you? No, she could say that, you know what, Zastri, you're annoying, and I don't want you at all to be with me any at all. So, that's exactly what the deal is. You could say this. But just say it instead of having Zastri feeling as though feeling like she don't want it at all. Which is what it is. She don't want it. Zastri will be there, be the one to find out the real DNA test, and she will be the one to expose that Shayla and the rooster. So, well, I think Zastri is kind of in the nation nonetheless. But hey, sometimes she presents, like she's sitting there. So that is kind of interested right now. Case, yes, a case. I know you were looking for me to come live. Case, I was very, very tired today. That's the only reason I didn't come live. Only I chatted with Josh a few days ago, and I told her that I like her sister, and Josh told me that her sister is the total opposite of her, and I told her I don't care. I don't like her sister. But I don't want a case.
Shayla,
Re-
really?
You guys want me to? I can stay somewhere else.
No,
No,
you're
it has-
fine.
I'm sorry, it has nothing. You're fine. Go take your shower. I just
No,
gotta
I
talk
just
to
don't.
Shayla.
Just let me know.
No, you're
It's a
good.
problem.
No, it's not a
I
problem.
don't have a
Delicia.
problem.
I have no problem.
I can tell that Delicia and Shayla is the same thing. She was Delicia come out and she come out make it look like she really don't want to stay there. Please, that is a move that people pull a lot of times. Them will come out and say, "Oh no, if you don't want me to stay, I won't stay." I did know that I really don't want to cause any problems with you guys because guess what? Them know it's an Achilles heel. That move by Delicia just now was not real. That's exactly what me know say. But no, sir, Delicia is a rooster herself. She is a resident rooster herself.
Not.
You're good. I just need to talk to my sister. I'm so
All right,
sorry.
no problem.
You're good.
I'm out
You're
of
good.
it. Go.
You're good.
You're making her feel uncomfortable.
You're making me feel uncomfortable. I'm your sister.
Okay, but she's
That is
only
crazy.
here temporarily.
But I wanted to be here temporarily and you didn't let me.
Zashery, you're really making this a big deal.
A big deal. It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal, Charmaine? Correct? Because Sheila told Zashery she had to ask Anthony because she knows that Anthony would say no. But guess what? She never asked Anthony as far as what's her name is concerned. Delicia is concerned. Delicia just got to stay there. She never asked a question. So that tells me that she had control over the situation for a long time. Stephanie, let me see what you say. She didn't want Zashery to stay because things was good with her and Anthony. And now she lonely. But regardless, she still hasn't even asked, Zashery to stay there, even after then. So that's what's going on here. Zashery look like she and Delicia could be sisters. Shayla looks like she has just different parents. Possibly she could be. Shayla actually could be a jacket. Do you think Shayla is like a jacket for Brody? Hold on. Hold on, I'm going to define jacket. Do you think Shayla has a different dad than Brody? That's the question people asking. Brody. They want to know. One for yes and two for no. People want to know, is Shayla a jacket? We call it jacket in Jamaica. When you have a baby that is not yours, it's a jacket. So Brody has a jacket.
Big deal, yes, because it is a
You
big deal
haven't
to me
seen
because
Delicia
I would
in
do that
years
for
and
you.
you're gonna argue in front of her?
She's
Like,
gonna take her
why?
shower. I'm talking to you. Like she has nothing to do with this. I'm not worried about her right now. That's messed up, Shayla, and you know it. And you're my sister, and you don't act like
No,
it. And
you need to just chill.
I need to chill. I'm staying with Pam and Dad. I don't really want to stay there. I want to stay with you. I'm more comfortable.
She doesn't want to stay with Pam. Who wants to stay with Pam? Tell it to Pamela, smother her like gravy. Based on the argument heard with Brody and Angelina, Shayla definitely has a different father. Yes. We are starting to believe that Shayla has an actual jacket. Really and truly, Angelina has pinned a child on Brody. It's like pinning a donkey. it don't feel like it's his kid. It feel like Zashery is his kid, but Shayla is not. That's what it feels like to me. A jacket. It is a jacket. Brody was given a jacket. I'm telling you, the way she treats Zashery tells you that something is going on there. There's something happening between that family as to what's going on. Angelina may have been sleeping out. She was on that Momo trek.
With you.
You said
You're
you
my
were staying
sister.
over there.
Really, sis? I don't really want to stay there. I'd rather stay with you.
Wow.
That's what I would rather
You just
do.
act
You're
like
my
you were so
sister. I barely know
comfortable there.
Pam.
Why are you
I'm
always
only there
over
because
here
that was my
causing
only
causing
choice.
drama?
I'm
When
not
is
causing
love
any
with
drama.
you?
You're the drama. You're the
Okay.
drama. You start everything.
Well,
You're wrong for that. You're my sister.
So Zashery's upset. Zashery's upset, and Zashery says that, Shayla is wrong for that. Is Shayla wrong for not letting Zashery stay there? Okay, so let's discuss this. And I know this have many connotations to it, so I'm not going to even make it seem like, and two for no. Before I even read a couple of comments, before me getting at the comments, let me put it in context. I know sometimes people will say that, I mean, hey, me know I'm a sibling still because I feel like they're going to be too entitled. They might say that, or they might say, you know what, I prefer not to live with family because I don't want the family in my business. You could say that as well, right? Or whatever else it is that people say when it comes to people living with them. And could say, you know what, Zashery's not the best person to live with me because we don't equally do well. We don't equally take tea. Is that your take on it? Give me a take. I'm gonna start reading some comments now. I just want to make sure some put it out there as to what the things was. So Dana says yes, she's wrong because she didn't fight for Zashery. And when Anthony said no, she didn't fight for her. But you let your another friend, yours come and stay there. Yes, she's wrong. So y'all are saying she's wrong pretty much for what's going on. So I'm getting some things from you. She has no problem asking Zashery for help with Kai, and she could have at least allowed her sister to stay there. That's what I thought too. But again, as I said before, I don't know. Sometimes people have different ways as to they look about these things. Anyone with some sense knows that which is wrong. Well, Angela Bay, hey, I made sure I put my free out there, but sometimes people have ways where they look on these things. Yes, she's wrong for treating her sister wrong, but she's going to need her sister. So that's what you have Panda one. I said she's gonna need her. Let's see. Shawnee says Zashery needs to give her the business. That family treats Zashery like she's a black sheep. She definitely treats her like a black sheep for sure. So, Rooster Nation had this trend ever since Angelina. That's correct. Well, they all the nation, when we say Rooster Nation, all them are the nation. Do Zashery, do they treat Zashery like a stepchild from another world? They do. They do, but I feel like Zashery is the real child and Shayla is not. That's what it feel like to me. It feel like Shayla is the jacket because some way, somehow, Zashery conforms more to Brody. But then, you know what I mean? There's something with Brody with her and whatever. Maybe Angelina beat that into, I don't know. It feel like something going on in the family. Something in the family not right. Uh, she didn't ask Anthony, can she stay there? But she asked him to ask Zashery to stay there, which is disgusting because she really and truly got through the entire thing. So it's just it really is bad. Shayla only cares about her own feelings. She does. She does. But I hope Zashery learn right now that Zashery needs to see what's going on. Zashery needs to stop whining and get her own place and don't let Shayla stay there when she becomes homeless. Good stopping point for Ashley. Should Zashery, here's the question, should Zashery get payback if Shayla has nowhere to stay? That's a good question. One for yes and two for no. That's a good question. But the truth is, we don't know if Anthony gonna allow, him baby for not stay anywhere at all. Unless Anthony takes the baby. That's the only little thing with it, though. I don't know if Anthony gonna allow the baby to stay like that. Rolanda had an issue with Shayla living there. And Anthony and Rolanda are going to hit the roof when they find out about the new tenant. That's correct because of squatters' rights. Let me see what you say, Teresa Woodward. So let's see what's going on. She don't like the fact that Zashery doesn't agree with her mess. Like she said, Shayla always started everything. Zashery got to be caused, so she didn't. Zashery got to be because she didn't speak two different languages and Shayla can't. Okay, so she can't speak. So Shayla can't speak Spanish. What you're saying? Shayla cannot speak Spanish. I see what you're saying there. So, all right. Judy says she didn't want her there. She knew that Zashery was going to continue telling them that they are wrong for what they're doing with Amber, which is true. You understand? Even though Zashery are part of the nation, because Zashery ride or die nonetheless, and you know what I mean? That's what it is. I don't believe in payback to my sisters or brothers, but I wouldn't talk to them. So in other words, the question is, Nanya, if you were Zashery, is the question. If you were Zashery, would you allow Shayla to stay? Is that a question then? With you. That's the question. Let's say you become Zashery and you get the upper hand. How would you deal with that? Or and two for no. Two for no. That's what we're having going on here, so. That's what we have going on. Let me read some comments. I hope Zashery gets her own place or the house that she wants very soon. I hope she does that. You understand? But she said she never wants to stay with she don't want to stay with Pamela. You understand? No one really wants to stay with Pamela. They find Pamela annoying. So what they're saying is that Pamela annoying. So because Shayla ain't got no money, she knew she didn't handle money when she came there. Her mother set this all up. That's exactly right. They make sure, so them set her up so that way she have a little apartment and she have a place to stay. They made sure they do this. My heart is in his hands ministry. We're about to start paying Shayla $10,000 a month. So she can pay her own rent. She can pay her own rent, but the deal is that my heart is in his hands ministry. The thing is that Shayla is not great with money. We're having a take that Shayla is not great with money. She's not great with money. That's what we're seeing that's going on right here. So, Othello, let's see what you have. Shayla belongs to Brody, but Zashery belongs to someone else. She looks more like Shayla's friend. Okay, okay, okay. So then that's a good question. This is a good question because I think I've been asking this question too. Um, who looks more like a jacket? Who looks more like a jacket? Shayla or Zashery? All right, so a fella lead us with a question. Who look more like a jacket? And when we say a jacket, we're talking about a child who doesn't belong to that father. Don't belong to a father. don't belong to a father. Don't belong to the father. Who do you think more? Who do you think more? Who looks more like a Jackie child? In other words, the child when it look like say them belong to Brody. Who looks like the child that doesn't belong to Brody? Which don't don't belong to Brody? That is the question. Who no belong to Brody in your mind? People have said Shayla. Somebody said people said both of them. Shayla is very selfish, and her friend will condone her behavior. Zashery will call them out, and that's the reason. That's why I'm saying, maybe that's the reason why. Maybe she have a point. That's why I'm ask that question because I know sometimes people are like that where they don't want somebody living with them. If them not think them going, if them going to be apart with them. David says neither child looks like the father. That too. It's, people are say both of them. Do you believe then? Do you believe that Angelina could have cheated on Brody twice? There you go. That's my question. Do you believe that Angelina could have cheated on Brody twice? And two for no. In other words, give away the pum pum. Could it be that Angelina gave it away two times? And there were two different men in this entire thing. And maybe that's why Brody is doing the way that he's doing. Maybe that's why Brody has decided that he don't care. Maybe Brody does not care because eventually he has found out that Shayla, come on guys, we're just talking here. He has found out that neither Shayla nor Zashery is his child. Could this be so? Could this be so? Would you put a bet on that? Would you put your money on that? That you know what? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Mommy babies and dad maybe. Nadira calls the jacket mommy babies and dad maybe. We call it a jacket, but there you go. I love this one. I'm gonna have to put this one in there. Stephanie says yes. That's why Angelina loves Shayla. There you go. Good questions. Good questions. Corletta says yes. Joe is Shayla's father, right? Joe. We don't know who Joe is, but we know so there's something about Joe. A man is not going to put up with that. But it depends, though, Goddess London. If the man don't find out, hey, what to tell? Who to tell if you don't find out about these girls? Let's say him not find out that these girls aren't his. And him probably say, I don't know, 17, 18 years in the marriage. After that point in time, he married, not every man is like that. Because I'm not like that, mother, more move. But some men will, you know what I mean? Some men will. That's the truth. Is some men will. Angelina claimed that she never cheated, but Brody says she did. Exactly. Exactly. We know that Angelina has been giving off the stuff. People has asked me if O'Neal has been a part of the Rooster Nation. People have been accusing me of being a part of the soup. Them putting me in the soup. But O'Neal is not in the soup, guys. I'm not in the soup. For the people who love Trouble O'Neal, is O'Neal in is O'Neal in the rooster soup? One for yes and two for no. People have been putting my name in the soup. Somewhere, somehow, them put my name in the soup and them say, O'Neal, you know, there are people out there, fans out there who are a part of Rooster Nation. Them love Angelina, you understand? And so they put my name in the soup. And I said, guys, I cannot be in the soup. There's no way. Me couldn't be the father. They put O'Neal name in the soup. I'm going to appreciate these things, guys. Am I in the soup? Do you believe that I could be a part of this? Is O'Neal a part of this soup? This pot, them a stir the pot. You have some people that come in the comments and they have been saying that O'Neal is a part of the soup. That's why O'Neal behaving the way he's behaving. Because O'Neal was in the soup. Me don't know who put me in a soup, but over and over again they put me in this rooster soup. I mean, don't know why they put me in a soup. Look at the comments there. No, I'm upset now. Me vex now. None ya? Jeez, I'm savior. M. Johnson put up soup sign. No man, on the outer hand now. M. Johnson put up the soup sign. This is just crazy. Sharon Davis is laughing instead of saying, no, only not in the soup. No, no can't put it. Sandra, no, Sandra, you can't laugh, Sandra. Me not in the soup, none at all. People putting all these things up. Eh? Put O'Neal in the soup. Eh? Campbell's soup. They are putting O'Neal in Angelina's soup. Eh? No way, no way. Nanya, I cannot believe this. You call me Rooster Nation. What the shit? You have called me Rooster Nation, and I have been watching how people have been putting my name with Angelina. Them say, for those who are just coming in, when they just coming to the comments, and people are saying that O'Neal is a part of this entire soup with Angelina, and maybe my name can be called when it comes to Shayla and Zashery. I don't know if I'm that old, but no, Congratulations on the men's 100 meter after 10 years. Yes. After 10 years, they're finally back on top. Jamaica is back on top again. But that's how it is, The rivalry between Jamaica and America is always going to be that way. One tiny country against this big country. You understand? Less than 3 million people versus 300 and something million people. That is how we see it. David versus Goliath. Of course, Jamaica is always David in that kind of race. But nonetheless, guys, this is where we are. I'm glad to see that Noni has said that O'Neal is not in the soup. The truth about this is this. Shayla really and truly should allow her sister to have stayed there. She should not have allowed this to happen, but she has allowed it to happen. Anyways, it's a mini live. I'm coming out for the live. The people I'm going to keep putting my name in the soup and take my name out of the soup. Jeez, I'm savior. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and talk to you. So I'm not a part of the soup. Not a part of the soup. I'm not a part of the soup.